Hey everybody, Sean here, and welcome to Revealing Truth. As Scripture says, judgment begins with the household of God, and it would seem that one scandal after another is being exposed lately. And before we get started, we have to remember that a sin of lust, having an affair, or things along that line isn't the issue. Some saved people struggle with lust, whether they're in pastoral positions or simply part of the congregation. So this isn't about pointing out people's sin, because all forms of sin can be confessed, repented of, and forgiven. Although the lasting damage can be terrible in some cases. The problem with many of these cases is that these events are happening and not being confessed. And these hidden sins are happening with people in leadership positions and aren't being dealt with. And if they involve youth, well, that's a much different scenario. But the latest story coming from the Roy's report is about Michael Brown. Aaron is the pseudonym being used for this person that called Michael Brown Dad. And she says he'd hold her hand, kiss her on the lips, and slap her bottom. She was 21 when she left that situation during the Brownsville revival and has struggled with her faith ever since. And this is a big problem. When something like this is done in secret, that's the first sign it's not right, and both parties are guilty of neglecting that truth. But when it's from a much older person in a leadership position, it can cause all sorts of confusion. Apparently, this started at the age of 18 when she first attended the Brownsville Revival School of Ministry. And you can read the full story on Julie Roy's actual article. But Michael Brown did make an official statement on this and admits this was a definite lack of judgment on his part. He says that before she left, she informed him that their interactions had made her uncomfortable. He apologized and takes full responsibility for the things that apparently hurt her so deeply, but also says that although his actions were foolish and irresponsible, they weren't amorous in any way. So there seems to be a bit of a disconnect here. So what happens now? If there was kissing involved and slapping her on the bottom, that would make Michael Brown an adulterer and no longer qualified to be a pastor according to 1 Timothy and Titus. I'm sure the full truth will come out over time, as it usually does, and until then, we need to pray that there would be no false information given and that only the truth would be known, and that the proper actions would follow. As much as I dislike the fact that Michael Brown supports many of the false teachers we expose, we don't wish bad things upon anyone, only that God's truth and justice would prevail. So with that being said, we're gonna leave it here for today, but leave your comments below, and until next time, take care and God bless.